It's not that you cannot focus. It is that your attention has been trained to obey distraction before it obeys purpose. For years, I thought focus meant forcing myself to concentrate harder. The shift came when I realized my attention needed to be guarded, renewed, and pointed back to what God placed in front of me. In this video, I'm going to give you a biblical system for rebuilding focus by renewing your mind, guarding your attention, and learning how to return before distraction becomes your default. You already know what it feels like. You sit down to do what matters. You know the task. You know why it matters. You even want to do it. But within a few minutes, your attention starts leaking. One notification, one tab, one quick check, one small distraction, and suddenly, 20 minutes are gone. Then the guilt comes in. You tell yourself, I need to focus. You try again, but your mind keeps jumping to your phone, to a message, to something easier, to something that gives quick relief. And after a while, you start thinking something is wrong with you. Why can I not just sit still and finish? Why do I keep drifting from the thing I said matters? Why do I start the day with intention and end it feeling scattered? Here is what nobody tells you. Distraction is not just stealing your time. Distraction is training your desires, because every time your attention leaves what matters and runs to what is easy, your mind is learning a pattern. Purpose feels heavy. Interruption feels rewarding. Obedience feels difficult. Escape feels normal. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you the 3 places focus gets rebuilt: your eyes, your mouth, and your feet. And once you see them, you will understand why focus is not just a productivity issue. It is a discipleship issue. Proverbs 4:25-27 is the anchor for this, because it does not just tell you to guard your heart, it shows you how to keep your eyes, your path, and your steps aligned. Let me tell you about a man I'll call Daniel. Daniel loved God. He had goals. He had work he knew he needed to do. He wanted to pray consistently. He wanted to study the Word. He wanted to build what God had placed in his hands. But his attention was constantly being pulled away. Every morning, he had a plan. By midday, the plan was already broken. Not always by obvious sin, sometimes just small distractions, messages, videos, notifications, a quick scroll that became 30 minutes. Daniel did not feel rebellious. He felt scattered, and that made it more confusing. Because he wanted to focus. He wanted to be faithful, but his attention kept running away from discomfort. Then one day, something shifted. He stopped asking, "Why can't I concentrate?" and started asking, "What has been training my attention?" That question changed everything, because he realized focus was not only about trying harder. His attention had been discipled. Discipled simply means trained into a way of living. His phone had trained him to expect constant interruption. His habits had trained him to escape difficult tasks. His environment had trained him to respond to everything except the thing God put in front of him. So the answer was not more guilt. It was a new system. The framework I want to give you is called the straight-ahead system, because focus is not just staring harder at a task. Focus is learning to keep your eyes, your words, and your steps aligned with the path God has placed before you. Proverbs 4:25-27 says, "Let your eyes look straight ahead, and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Do not turn to the right or the left. Remove your foot from evil." That passage gives us a picture of focus. Eyes straight ahead. A path carefully considered. Where's the feet that do not turn aside? In plain terms, what this means is, focus is not just about removing distractions. It is about repeatedly returning your whole life to the direction God gave you. And this connects directly to Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing means the inner pattern changes, not just trying harder, not just feeling bad because you wasted time yesterday. the way your attention moves changes. Here is where scripture and neuroscience align. Your brain gets better at whatever it repeats. If every time discomfort comes, you reach for distraction, your brain learns that distraction is the answer. It is like walking through grass. The first time there is barely a mark, but walk the same route every day and a path forms. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to physically rewire itself through repeated patterns. So if distraction trained your attention through repetition, focus can also be rebuilt through repetition. Here's the line I want you to remember from this video. You are not an unfocused person. You are a person whose attention has been trained, and what has been trained can be retrained. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1. Guard your eyes. Focus begins with attention. And attention begins with what you allow your eyes to keep returning to. Your eyes are not just for seeing. Your eyes are a doorway for desire. What you keep looking at, you keep thinking about. What you keep thinking about, you start wanting. What you start wanting, you start moving towards. So if your eyes keep moving towards distraction, your mind will keep following. Before you start the work, decide what your eyes are allowed to see. Close the extra tabs, put the phone away, turn off notifications, open the one thing you are meant to work on. Do not wait until you are already distracted to decide you need focus. Decide before. Say out loud, "My eyes are fixed on what God has placed before me." Not because your task is your God, but because obedience requires attention. Step 2. Put truth in your mouth. Your attention does not only follow what you see, it also follows what you keep saying. If your inner language is always, "I cannot focus," and "I always waste time," your mouth is reinforcing the same identity you are trying to break. That is why Joshua 1:8 matters. "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it." God told Joshua the word should not depart from his mouth, not only from his mind. From his mouth, because what stays in your mouth starts shaping what stays in your mind. Before you start work, speak truth over your mind. My mind is being renewed. My attention is being trained. I do not obey every distraction. I can return to what God placed before me. Stand up straight. Breathe slowly. Speak like someone who believes God can actually change the way they think. This is why I use settled specifically for this. When I notice myself drifting from what I know I need to do, I do not want vague inspiration. I want scripture-shaped declarations already in my mouth. I use declarations around discipline, focus, obedience, and the renewing of the mind, and I speak them out loud until my internal resistance starts to weaken. And one practice that helps me keep this going is Settled's listening mode. It lets me fall asleep with those exact declarations playing quietly in my ear. Here is why that matters. During lighter stages of sleep, your brain enters what scientists call theta state. In plain terms, the part of your mind that argues back during the day gets quieter, so truth is not meeting the same resistance. The word gets in without a fight. I also keep listening mode running while walking or commuting, so repetition is stacking throughout the day, not only when I sit down to study. Step 3. Return your feet to the path. Focus is not proven by never drifting. Focus is proven by how quickly you return. This is where many people get discouraged. They get distracted once and think the whole day is ruined. But renewal is not perfection. Renewal is return. Proverbs 4:26-27 says, "Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Do not turn to the right or the left. Remove your foot from evil." Your feet represent direction. Your path represents repeated choices. And repeated choices become your life. So when distraction pulls you away, the goal is not shame. The goal is return. When you notice you have drifted, do not spiral. Do not say, I have wasted the day. Just return. Close the distraction. Open the task. Do 5 minutes. Write 1 sentence. Pray 1 honest prayer. Take the next faithful step, because every time you return, you are teaching your mind a new path. Delay is a path. Distraction is a path. But obedience is also a path. And every repeated return makes it stronger. This week, try this for 7 days. Not perfectly, just honestly. Pick 1 thing that needs your focus, not 10 things. 1. Before you begin, ask yourself 3 questions. What do my eyes need to stop returning to? What truth do I need to speak over my mind? What is the next faithful step in front of me? Then speak this declaration out loud. My mind is being renewed. My eyes are fixed. My feet return to the path God has placed before me. Say it out loud now, wherever you are. My mind is being renewed. My eyes are fixed. My feet return to the path God has placed before me. Type it in the comments. Let someone else see it and know they are not alone. One more thing before you go. If you want something that helps you stay consistent with this daily, a place where the declarations are already built and ready so you are not figuring it out from scratch every morning, I use an app called Settled Biblical Mind Renewal for exactly that. The link is in the description if you want it. You are not too distracted to change. Your attention can be renewed, your path can become steady, and God can teach your mind to return 1 faithful step at a time.